day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
It is 7 o'clock on a Friday morning, Kora to the weekend, some might like to call it, but your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso morning show is live, large and in charge and ready to kickstart a brand new day. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Boy, and it's so good to be in your company. We've got lots planned on the show for you this morning. We're cooking all things chicken in the kitchen with Chef Clem, who's going to be teaching us also how to spatchcock a chicken. That's to fillet it and open it in all the right kind of ways in order to cook it better. And then Nicole, of course, is going to be in on the action as well in that kitchen to show us all those good things. Now, of course, you can interact with us on social media. We are all around on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. And everywhere you do so, hashtag Expresso Show. Let's get this day underway. What's happening, team? Good morning.
Friday morning, and I know I must be ready for you. Good morning to you, everybody. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Kamalam Gukusha Adams.
And I'm Ryle. Good morning. What a magical morning it is. We're almost into the weekend.
Yes.
Wow.
And of course, you know that we love interacting with you on our social media platforms. We know that before we leave our houses, we need to get all dressed up and don't forget our masks. So we're asking you guys, have you got creative and cool face masks? Please do share your pictures with us. We have some pictures of our favorite celebrities wearing their fancy masks.
Yeah, they're rocking it this morning. Actually, Boiti over here doing that Chanel thing.
Woo,
I'm loving that black on
girl.
black on black.
Oh, is that Bonang Matemba in that
Bonang
parka
Matemba.
jacket? I mean, it is the winter season, so that look is all slayed up.
On point. Oh, Cheslin Colby. Oh, our rugby star over there with the fan family. I see he's rocking those Ninja Turtle colors in support. And then we got Minky van der Vest. Hey,
Oh, I love the floral print on it. So beautiful.
Bringing
and of
spring
course,
into it.
up next we have the Springbok captain, Usia Golisi. He had to have
gotta go
the African
patriotic.
flag
I love it.
over there. I love it. Last but definitely not least, we're ending off with a little bit of pizzazz, and I'm talking about Usomizi Mhlongo, looking all snatched. I love it.
Love it, guys. And if you have any pictures of your cool mask, please let us know. Tag us in our social media. We want to see all the pizzazz that you are taking into the weekend. But it's over to Kat with the news, brother. What's going on?
Well, it's 2 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at those news headlines on this Friday morning. On the national news front, following President Cyril Ramaphosa's announcement on Tuesday night that churches, synagogues, mosques, temples and other recognized places of worship will be able to reopen from Monday, the rules were published last night. Worship services must be limited to a maximum of 2 hours with a 30-minute break between each service. Congregations are banned from singing hymns. All songs must be pre-recorded or solo performances only. The regulations also state that no religious ritual may be or that requires personal contact may be performed during any activity. Now, teacher unions in the Northern Cape have welcomed the Provincial Education Department's decision to delay the reopening of schools for grade 7 and 12 learners to June the 8th. The department took the decision after it was found that schools were not ready to welcome both teachers and learners back. Provincial Education MEC Mac Jack says the extra time will allow schools to prepare more thoroughly for the province's 36,000 grade 7 and 12 learners. Meanwhile, the total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country yesterday was 27,403, with 577 related deaths. On the international news front, US President Donald Trump has threatened to close down social media after Twitter labeled 2 of his tweets unsubstantiated and accused him of making false claims. Twitter targeted tweets in which the US president said that mail-in voting would lead to fraud and a rigged election in November. Twitter had long been criticized for allowing the president to spread conspiracy theories and smears against opponents despite its policies against the promotion of disinformation. Now, Senegalese superstar Youssou N'Dour and Grammy winner Angelique Kidjo were among a galaxy of African talent brought together for a virtual concert to raise awareness of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, more than 100 artists and celebrities from across the African continent took part in a virtual show that was carried by 200 African channels. The event was modeled after the One World Together at Home concert in April, which featured, among others, Taylor Swift and the Rolling Stones. Now, the stars performed from their living rooms, studios, and gardens, all ending their songs with the line, "Together as one." And now, how Queen Elizabeth hid in the palace gardens to avoid an unwelcome guest. Now, many of us have done it deliberately, avoiding someone, even hiding, pretending not to be at home. But Her Royal Highness, the Queen of England, well, yes, even Her Majesty the Queen. In a recent documentary titled Our Queen, Inside the Crown, it was revealed how Her Majesty once hid in the bushes of Buckingham Palace to avoid the controversial dictator. Now, people across the globe are loving the behind closed doors details that the documentary uncovers. The monarch was privately walking her corgis when she was surprised by Romanian dictator Nicolae Ceausescu and his wife Elena during their state visit in 1978. The 94-year-old is said to have described Nicolae as too much for her and resorted to hiding in the garden shrubs to avoid him and his wife. Now, she thought she couldn't face him, and for the first time in her life, she actually hid in a bush in the palace gardens to avoid the couple. She afterwards made it quite clear that she wasn't impressed with the state visit that was organized by her government. Well, her secret is out. The Queen is human after all. And now, taking a quick glimpse into the world of entertainment, American actor Tom Hanks has proved to be a source of both levity and gravitas through his responses to various needs that have arisen in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, were the first celebrities to publicly share their positive coronavirus diagnosis and have since recovered and are quarantining in LA. Now, the 63-year-old recently took to Instagram to share about what is now his second donation of plasma since his recovery. He opened up that he and his wife Rita have been ever ready to donate their plasma and blood for use in research and development of a COVID-19 vaccine ever since they found out that they carry antibodies. Tom joked that he hopes it will be named the Hanksine. Now, he has been continuing to lift people's spirits, giving a special surprise to students graduating from an Ohio university who weren't able to celebrate their achievements in person. Congratulating them on their success and potential in the strange new future landscape of the world, he said, "Part of your lives will forever be identified as before, in the same way other generations tell time like, well, that was before the war, or that was before the internet, or that was before Beyonce." I think it's fair to say that the word before is going to carry a lot more weight going forward. Well, with that, that is the news at 7 o'clock. We'll have another bulletin at 8 o'clock. Right now, here's a first look at your weather with Kuhle.
Thank you so much, Kat. Indeed, it is that time we have to look at the weather this morning. But first, at the sunrise pictures that you've sent. Heinrich Adries from Waterfall City in Midrand sent us the stunning sunrise picture of the golden sun rising in the distance, taken from the hotel he works at. Midrand in Gauteng can expect plenty of sunshine today with a minimum temperature of 6 and a maximum of 20 degrees. Heinrich is a big Expresso fan and says he loves the fact that he has more time to exercise now and is slowly getting his 2010 body back, as he has Raul as his fitness inspiration every morning. We're so happy to hear you staying fit and healthy, Heinrich, and also big shout out to you, Raul. Now, they say it takes sunshine and rain to make a rainbow, and that's exactly what happened in the windy city, Peri-Peri, Port Elizabeth. The sunrise picture of a beautiful rainbow was captured by Seymour Slabert. Port Elizabeth can expect showers in the morning with a strong westerly breeze of 33 kilometers an hour, reaching a high of 18 degrees. Thank you to both Heinrich and Seymour for sending in your sunrise pictures this morning. We hope that you have an awesome start to your weekend. It's going to be another cool, wet and windy day for most parts of the country as we are heading straight into winter. But at Polokwane, plenty of sunshine can be expected at a maximum of 24 and a minimum of 8 degrees. And the highest temperature in the country for Mbombela with a maximum of 30 and a minimum of 8. Pretoria, 622, Johannesburg, 419, and mostly sunny for Mahikeng at a maximum of 23 with a minimum of 5 degrees. Sunshine for Klerksdorp, 623, Kimberley, 219, and the coolest start to the day reaching below 0 for Bloemfontein at a -1, reaching a maximum of 18 degrees. Sunny to partly cloudy for Richards Bay, 1626 are your temperatures for this Friday. Pietermaritzburg, your temperatures range from 8 to 24. Hazy sun with an afternoon shower for Durban at a low of 15, reaching a high of 25. Intervals of sun and clouds for Mthatha, 7:22. East London, 12:21. Cradock, 6:17. And morning showers with a strong westerly breeze of 33 kilometers an hour for Port Elizabeth at a minimum of 10, reaching a maximum of 18. Thick cloud cover with periods of rain for George at a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 16. Sutherland, 3:13. Passing morning showers can be expected for Cape Town at a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 18. It's a rainy day in Worcester with a maximum of 17 and a minimum of 8. And times of clouds and sun for Uppington at a low of 6 degrees, reaching a high of 23. Now, being on lockdown does not mean we can't get to see this beautiful country we live in. Please send us pictures and videos of your town and we could show it live on the show. Make sure to include a picture of yourself and why you love your town so much. Now, remember, whichever part of the country you're in, whatever the weather, make sure to have yourselves a feel-good kind of day.
Pharma Dynamics, effective, affordable healthcare.
Well, thank you very much, Kutle. And just like Kutle has just said, what a beautiful country we live in. And speaking of South Africa, let's broaden our horizons to the broader African continent. And what a beautiful month it has been, celebrating all things African heritage and culture during this vibrant Africa month of May. And we've been drawing motivation from people who have been inspired by and hail from our dazzling continent.
Yeah, now, Kat, whether it's our mountainous plains and lush forests or vast azure oceans set against fiery sunsets, being on this land fills one's soul with the wonders of this world, the generous spirit, vigorous optimism, and warm hospitality of our people lingers on in the minds and hearts of the people that are fortunate to touch the soul of our land. And here's what Richard once had to share with these stirring words.
Yeah, Richard Mullen had these words to say, "The only man I envy is the man who has not yet been to Africa, for he has so much to look forward to."
Does that not just speak
Yo.
to the beautiful
Halala.
secrets and the riches of our country and our land, Kat? The whole of African continent really needs to be in a continuous state of joy and celebration. I mean, the amount of celebration that we can have for what we have, it's insurmountable, man. Oh,
What's your
isn't it?
favorite landscape in the country?
You know, the Eastern Cape for me, just full of absolute magic. From mountains, landscapes in Hogsback all the way down to the coastal line. Oh, it's a dream for me, man.
Absolutely beautiful. Just one of those places you should visit if you have not yet been to the African continent.
Next time on the penultimate installment of Tropic Island of Treasure Curacao, only 2 smooth teams remain in the race for 1 million rand.
This is what it's about.
Let's go!
If you panic, we fall. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
There must be one more somewhere.
I'm on the verge of giving up.
Come on, for 1 million rand. We're not letting Cool Red take this.
That's Saturday at 8 p.m. only on SABC3. The stage is yours. Own it.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Hey,
welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Hopefully this song's got you jamming up a little bit, because you know it's time that we celebrate your beautiful day, of course. And we want to wish you a happy birthday, our beautiful, loyal, just loving viewers. We feel the warmth through our cameras, right?
Every single day.
And of course, today is your birthday, and if it is, you share it with Melanie Janine Brown, better known as Mel B, who turns, can you believe it, 45 years old today. Mel B is 45.
She looks so good.
Incredible.
She looks so good. I guess, I don't want to say she looks good for her age.
No, she just looks good,
She just looks good, period.
Exactly.
If you guys don't know who Mel B is, well, she is an English songwriter, actress, and television personality who rose to fame in the 1990s as a member of the group called Spice Girls. She was Scary Spice.
I don't know how that came up. Was it the hair? Why was she called Scary Spice? I don't understand.
I think because her look was just intimidating to a lot of people, but also there's something...
That's what that picture says.
I wanna take it. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my
I was
friend.
way too into that right now, because back in the day, I think I was a secret Spice Girls fan.
Really?
They were, I mean, how do you write the words? Well, here's the story from A to Z. You wanna get with me, you gotta listen carefully, you gotta... You know, there's unfathomable lyrics, really.
I love it so much. Happy birthday to you, Mel B. Continue to slay, ma'am. Now we have quite a number of videos this morning. This one is to Amphil Engatini, sent by his mother, Pumelela. Let's check it out.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ampile. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Hooray!
That's amazing.
Happy birthday to you, Ampile. I hope that you have an awesome day, you cutie patootie.
Alrighty, next up, this looks like a choir coming up. A message to Mikhail Cupido, sent in by Robert Cupido.
Bon anniversaire, minemnandi kuwe, buon compleanno. Happy birthday, Mikhail. Hip hip.
God, that's lovely. That's beautiful. Well done. Well done. That was happy birthday in 4 languages.
I love it so
Absolutely
much.
incredible. I love that they got him to sing happy birthday to himself as well. Anyway, the next one is to Sisanda, and it was sent in by Unamjeli.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sisanda. Happy birthday to you. God bless you today. God bless you always. God bless you and keep you. Happy birthday to you.
Hey, with the lingering note at the end, with that natural today.
If I vibe.
If I vibe. Beautiful.
This one is a very special one, Kat. It's to my nephew, Cody. I call him Cody Banks. He turned 6 years old today. So this video was done by my niece, Jaylee, asking him what he wants for his birthday. So let's check it out.
Hello, birthday boy. Are you excited for your birthday?
Yes, I am.
What do you want for your birthday?
A car with a W kilo.
How old are you turning?
6.
What?
6.
One more time.
6.
Oh, man, absolutely wonderful. Look at those beautiful memories in those pictures.
Oh, so cute. And it's so crazy to watch someone grow from when they are a bikinini straight to what they are now. So Cody Banks, I know exactly what you want for your birthday. Trust and believe that Auntie is going to give it to you, right?
Oh, my goodness. Spoils all round. Listen, send us your birthday dedications to birthdays@kodover.tv. Also, that number 0716406551 is where you can send your videos to and help us wish your loved ones a happy birthday.
Our Cape Town-based professional surfer Frank Solomon has been living a pretty epic life, catching waves and going on ample adventures all over the globe. From the beautiful shores of Hawaii to Madagascar and Mexico, Frank gets to see all these amazing places by simply doing what he loves, and that's surfing. Now, the professional surfer joins us this morning to tell us more about what he's been up to during the lockdown and how his organization, Sentinel Ocean Alliance, has been assisting in the community. Frank, how are you doing, brother?
Morning, Ral. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, it's so good to see you, man. The last time I think we had a chance to chat was on the beach competing in the ocean as lifeguards, yeah?
Yeah. And when we'll be able to do that again.
Yeah, hopefully soon. But man, how exactly have you been surviving the lockdown?
Yeah, the first couple days actually were pretty tough for me. You know, I'm used to being outside like you and being free. So to be locked up, it was really challenging. But got into it for a while, and then yeah, my organization has recently been working on feeding those in need. So that's been keeping me really busy. So I'm really grateful to be able to at least outside and you know, being active a bit.
Look, you mentioned organization, which we'll chat about a little bit later, but you being a professional surfer during this time and being unable to train, surf, and enjoy the ocean like we always do, how exactly are you maintaining your form when it comes to surfing, especially now during the lockdown?
Yeah, I have a trainer. I actually have the same trainer as Ryan Sands, who I think has also been on the show. So we've been doing Zoom calls 3 days a week, and then I've also been doing a bit of yoga, so kind of wake up, do like 8 to 9 training with Mike, and then an hour of yoga, and then I was also doing a lot of skipping. So just trying to stay busy every day.
Right, yeah, we definitely did chat to him earlier. He was our trail running sensation, Ryan Sands, that we're just talking about now. So if you guys share the same trainer, then I'm really scared for what's to come later in the show when we do that workout. But before we get there, I know surfing is really such a good way to stay fit, but it also helps to alleviate the daily stress and anxiety that we suffer and face. So what advice would you give to others who are missing surfing during this time?
Man, I don't know if there's any replacement for just being in the ocean. You know, there's a certain kind of energy. Even if you just jump in and have a swim, that feeling that you get is really hard to replicate. So I guess yoga is a good alternative. Get your breathing going, you know, be calm. But there's something about being in that water that's hard to replicate.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. Look, we can keep saying, but I think it's just making us appreciate that moment when we do get the opportunity to be out there and enjoy and bask in all of its glory. But listen, you mentioned that organization, it's the Sentinel Ocean Alliance. And how have you exactly been helping out in the community during the national lockdown and using this just cause?
We started Sentinel Ocean Alliance to create ocean-based opportunities for the youth of South Africa. We started in Hart Bay with a surf school and Hart Bay Surf Lifesaving Club. And now we've started an ocean school where we educate the kids on why it's so important to protect the environment, you know, stop marine plastic pollution, that kind of stuff. And what we did was we just kind of worked on feeding the kids and the lifeguards from Hungberg and Imizamiyete in our community. And we delivering food to their families. And yeah, it's been amazing. The moms have gotten together to cook up soups and meals, and it's really been incredible how the communities come together.
Oh, Frank, you are doing such exceptional work. I don't think anyone here can thank you enough for being a part of just providing some love and assistance during this tough time. But you guys at home, stay tuned as professional surfer Frank Solomon will be taking us through a short lockdown fitness segment this morning.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Now, we were joined earlier on with Frank Solomon, who's going to be taking us through one killer workout and how he's been keeping sane and fit while he's unable to venture off into the waves and enjoy the beauty of the ocean. Frank, you still with us, brother?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, man, so I know you've got a cool workout for us, which you want to share with the rest of the audience out there. So where do we begin? Where are we starting off first?
I think because it's so cold, I'm going to start on the ground like this.
All right.
And we're going to have our legs like in a 90 position like that.
Okay.
To do some, yeah.
So like a little shin box almost.
Box, exactly, a shin box. So what we're going to do though is we're going to add on to the shin box, and we're going to do a couple just to warm up. I try not to use my hands at all, yeah.
Oh, Frank, I love this exercise quite a bit for me as a runner. Opens up the hips, it gives me some good mobility. But you being a surfer, how exactly would you benefit from this, and why are you doing this in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, your hip mobility in surfing, obviously, you know, you bend down and crouch down, so your hips are so important in all the mobility that you're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to move from that, and then we're going to come up into this position. So up, like
Oh,
that.
that's good. I'm getting a really good stretch just out here in the front of that hip flexor. Is that correct?
Yep, that's exactly it, yep.
Oh, that's a really good one. You guys at home, try and squeeze those glutes. It just gives you that extra little bit of stretch and stimulation on that quad and hip flexor. And chilling here with Frank Solomon, and he's doing something special. He's giving us a workout that's going to help all you surfers at home struggling with mobility, or anyone in that fact that has some issues in the hips.
The next step of this exercise is we're going to take your back leg. So for me, my left leg.
All right.
We're going to move it to a squat position. We're going to go into a squat position.
Whoa, that looked quite hectic. Let me try that out. Okay, so the back leg, I'm going to bring up. Whoa.
Yeah.
Squat. Yes. All right, I'm in the squat. What's next?
And then you're gonna do the exact same coming down. So that back leg down, back into the 90.
All right, so let me try that again, Frank. I've gotten in from the shin box. All right, going up nice and tall. Now take that back leg, swing it around. Is that correct?
Yeah, like this. And then you're gonna just go into a squat.
Ah, okay, I got you. Oh, love it. Nice big stretch there on the glutes. And then we're coming straight back into that position. Once again.
Yep.
Woo.
And then we're gonna do the other side.
All right, we're trying the other side. You guys at home, try this as well. It's a little bit tricky to start off with, trying to figure out how to not knot yourself up. But what you want to do is take this last leg, the back of the leg, bring it straight around you, get into a nice squat. Hold that squat. That's just going to open up those hips nicely. And then you're going to bring it straight back into that restart position. Frank, this is an awesome one. I've never actually done an extension of the workout like this, so I'm loving it, man. Woo.
Yeah, that's normally I do 10 of those, say 10 on each side, and that really warms up all your hips.
Yeah, I'm feeling like a loosey-goosey out here, man.
What I really like to do is that we're gonna go into a plank position.
Okay.
And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your left hand.
You got it up, yeah?
Reach it up, and then you're gonna tap the inside of your right arm, just under your chest, and then open up. Just like halfway like that, yeah.
All right. That feels really good. I'm feeling a good stimulation. My stabilizer in the shoulders are coming into play here, so I'm shaking quite a bit. But I think if you use the core, it's going to help with this movement, right?
That's exactly it. You're warming up your shoulders for surfing and your core. And yeah, also over here.
Oh, you guys at home heard that one. This is a great exercise just to work the core, and we're moving as well in this movement, and that's just going to incorporate extra stabilization and extra stimulation in those shoulders especially. So try this out. Try not to sway too much and really use your quads to support you, and you're definitely going to feel the stretch working. Oh, this is a great one, brother. Loving it.
Yeah. I'm going to do, let's do one more.
All right, one more to top it off. This is lovely. Let's finish off strong, man. I'm with you.
So what you could do actually is we could go into this one, and then we go straight into a squat from here. And then I really like this one for the shoulders. I mean, surfing is all about really handling, and then exactly like that.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is just stretch open like this from a deep squat. And then just, I kind of like to do 10 on each side. And I feel it really warms up my shoulders, my hips. And yeah, gets me ready to get in the water.
Oh man, my back is just cracking and opening up in all the craziest of places. Thoracic twist is so good and my hips have just gone on to another level. I think I'm almost ready to do the splits here, man. Frank, it's been so awesome to get a little bit of a piece of what you've been doing during the lockdown and especially how you're keeping fit. I know that your body has to go through so much when it comes to surfing and taking those impact of the waves, but can't thank you enough for blessing us with this beautiful session. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Rob. Thanks for having me, and I can't wait to do some lifesaving with you guys again, and look forward to seeing you on the beach.
Yeah, hopefully see you there soon. Cheers, man.
A fantastic little exercise session to get the morning started. Now, before we get cooking in the kitchen, Woolies, along with Gift of the Givers, have teamed up to distribute food care packs to families in need. And each bag is filled with a balance of protein, fresh fruit, vegetables, and other staples, as well as hygiene products to help curb the spread of COVID-19. Now, did you know that donating as little as 10 Rand would provide someone with 3 meals for a day? And if you'd like to get involved, just go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen and donate whatever you can towards filling a bag. And remember to encourage your family, your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, and chat to your groups to do exactly the same. And every little bit that you do will make a big, big difference. And now, of course, it is Friday, and Chef Clem is in the kitchen to share one of his kitchen craft sessions, of course, where we pick up tips and chefing skills right there in the comfort of your own home. And for me, right here next to Chef Clem, and we're going to be learning step by step how to spatchcock a chicken and how to prepare a chicken brine for the juiciest chicken that you'll ever taste. I've said the word chicken so many times, I'm salivating.
Chicken?
Chicken.
So what are we making today?
Chicken.
I'm still stuck on the fact that you said that that small amount of money can provide that many meals to someone.
There we go. There we go. And we all know, I mean, we've been thinking about just how harshly this COVID-19 pandemic has impacted those that are less fortunate. So, I mean, go ahead, guys. If you can and you have just $10 to give, it makes a real difference.
I mean, we talk about daily difference every day and how we can save a daily difference. I think maybe it's time we kind of become the daily difference in someone else's life.
Here we go.
And like, you know, I'm stuck with that number.
Here we go. $10.
That small amount of money that makes such a huge difference.
Exactly.
So definitely, yeah.
Exactly.
Guess what I'm gonna be doing? Bing! QR code, I love that.
Good stuff.
Okay.
Good stuff.
So talking about saving, one great way to save is to buy a whole chicken and portion it yourself.
Aha.
But this is something that people don't like doing. I think it's because they don't know how to do it correctly.
That's very true.
But it's such an easy task. And it's kind of satisfying to be like, I did this by myself. I butchered the chicken, like if it's beef, lamb, whatever, to go to that whole stage of kind of breaking it down.
Yeah.
I love it.
It makes you feel like you're more in touch with your food. You're more skilled.
Exactly.
It's about the skill.
So, before we get into it, let's talk about the chicken.
Okay.
Okay, so on a chicken, you've got 2 legs, right? This sounds silly, but it needs to be done. People need to know this. Okay, so you've got the 2 chickens, the two legs, sorry, which are connected to the 2 thighs.
Okay.
And then the 2 thighs are connected to each other by the spine that runs down the middle. So turn it back over again, the breasts, and then the 2 wings. So where the breasts are sitting, where they perched up, that's the front of the chicken. And then this is the back, which is the flat side. And yes, you've got that spine running down the middle.
Okay.
So we're gonna spatchcock this chicken, which sounds, it's basically butterflying the chicken.
There we go.
Super easy.
Yes.
The reason we do this, the chicken, just like this, when you put it in the oven to roast, or when you braai, we love braai, we braai everything. It will take such a long time to roast because you've got the chicken basically in a circular shape.
Exactly, yes.
You want to kind of, when we butterfly the chicken, we're creating more surface area. So more heat's able to cook the chicken, which means it cooks in half an hour.
Evenly.
Which is a big thing. So let's talk about how we actually do this. So we're gonna turn the chicken onto its front, and we're gonna kind of take our fingers and feel where the spine is. Okay. This is important. You wanna know where you're aiming, right?
You're like a chicken surgeon right now.
Yeah, like a surgeon. True story, my grandfather was a pastor. When I was growing up, I wanted to become a pastor.
Yeah.
And I was like, now I want to become a doctor. Then I became a chef, which is basically both. Don't you think so?
Okay.
Don't you think so?
In this instance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I mean, being a chef, like you're working with your food, you know?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. I
Hey,
think
and some people do believe that food can heal you from the inside.
I agree.
So a good chef could actually be a very good doctor in that way.
You have to know the anatomy of the chicken. Even the vegetables are used. And then, I mean, what is the pastor's mission? Is to kind of like bring the followers closer to the spiritual being, to shorten that distance. I'm just trying to do that through food.
So you're a pastor, doctor, and a chef.
Can I get an amen?
Hello. Hello.
Okay, all right. So I've normally seen people butcher their chicken or to butterfly it, and I see chefs doing this all the time. They just kind of take the spine out, which is okay.
And then break it open.
Yeah, but the most tender part of the chicken is called the oyster. And if you lift it up and you kind of like perch forward, if you run your finger down the spine, you can feel something changes right over there.
Yeah.
You stop feeling spine and you feel these two little tender spots over there.
Yeah.
The most tender part of the chicken. People don't know about it because it gets cut out and discarded.
Okay.
So what you do is lift your chicken up. You can kind of see you get that little crease there by itself. Take the knife right there, make a mark. You're not going to cut past that point.
Okay.
Cool. Then you're going to stand your chicken up, not like that. You can already see the nick started coming out. So Mother Nature's telling you already, that's the spine. So you just grip it nicely. Take your knife, and it's a sharp knife. You can use a pistol grip, which is this.
Pistol grip.
And then you just work your way down.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is maybe a little too forceful. Maybe after you've done it a few times, go for the pistol grip. For now, start off with your normal grip, right?
Standard grip.
Watching where your fingers are, and maybe even rest your knife against your fingers, just gently. You don't even need such hectic force.
So you're cutting along the spine all the way up until that incision that you made.
And when you get there, you stop. Right, one side, you go to the other side of the chicken, same thing. There we go. I did not even use a lot of force.
Yeah, that was
happened quite
easy.
easily.
Yeah.
So there's that mark that we made. Literally put your thumb there.
Break
Boom,
it.
Done. And you just snip it off.
Okay,
Done.
all right, so that part of the back or the neck
So
is
much
now.
flavor in here. It's the
Yes.
bone, a lot of small bones. You roast this off, and you know you normally add like a chicken cube or something to add flavor.
Yes.
You roast this off, get a beautifully golden brown, and add this to a stock. Boom, instant
Chicken
flavor.
stock.
Instant flavor.
Wow,
Now,
okay.
what we're doing is normally also, like I said, when they take the spine out, they remove those two oysters. What they also do is they remove the tail. I love the tail.
Which also has flavor because it's got a lot
So
of fat.
much flavor, exactly. So what we're gonna do is now, instead of cutting along the spine, we're gonna go through the middle. And again, it's still easy. You know, don't do a lot of force. Just boom, boom, boom. And when you get to the tail, straight down the middle, and you're gonna break it into half. So now you've got even more chicken on your body, because all that bit would have been discarded.
Yeah.
Right, so in the middle, we remove this little bits.
Okay.
That comes out. Grab your cloth.
This is a masterclass.
It's a masterclass, it is. And I love doing this. I haven't had to press down on the, like people normally press down to break the cage.
Yes.
Don't do that. It's
Just
not necessary. It's done already
open
for
it
you.
up.
This is your beautifully butterfly chicken. What you got is your two breasts in the front, your two legs, and your two thighs, and your two wings facing upwards.
Yes.
So when you roast this in the oven, no need to turn it around. You roast it one way. Boom, down. Half an hour, amazing roast chicken. But now, how to turn it into even more of a juicy chicken.
Okay.
Super, super easy.
There is more, ladies and gentlemen.
There's more. In the control room, they're like, how long is this guy gonna take? I've got this one, it's easy. Okay, I've got some water in here. I'm gonna add more. So I've got 2 liters of water in whole, right? 2 liters of water. Then I'm gonna add some salt. Normally a cup of salt to a cup of sugar. I mean, it looks like less, but this is Himalayan salt, which is very, very fine.
Yes.
So I don't need that much. So salt goes in.
That looks like a lot of salt that you've just added there.
It's gonna add a bit of seasoning to your chicken, but the purpose for the salt is, salt breaks down proteins.
A bit more in that sugar, so you don't need more of the sugar.
Oh, yes, look at this man, waste not. Okay, so the salt breaks down proteins, right?
Okay.
And it starts tenderizing it. And then what happens is once those proteins actually break down completely, they allow moisture in. But they actually don't let it out, so they retain all that moisture. So we're gonna season it. Some garlic going in there. Peppercorns, some thyme, some lemon going in there as well. We're gonna bring it to a heat. Once the sugar and the salt is dissolved, which I got one over here, you're gonna let it cool down completely.
Yes,
Once
that
it's
brine.
cold, put your chicken in, let that brine for 6 hours. I'm gonna show you what I do with this in the next segment. It's gonna be mind-blowing, Katlejo. Dr. Pedro is out.
Get to the website, expressoshow.com. He's amazing.
Thank you, thank you.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Given the increased demand for the cloth face mask, fashion designers are putting their skill set to good use. Fashion designer Untitled Chapter has started manufacturing stylish face masks through his Johannesburg-based fashion house, Expresso. He is not only designing and manufacturing face masks to earn an income as the lockdown has impacted negatively on many industries, he's also donating some of these masks to those in need. A very warm welcome to you, Untitled. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm very well, thank you. It's such a pleasure to have you here with us. Now, with the national lockdown still in the midst, a lot of industries need to either close their doors or become innovative in the way they move forward in order to survive. How did the COVID-19 pandemic and the national lockdown affect, the fashion industry as well as fashion designers?
I mean, obviously now it's not business as usual. We cannot be making glamorous clothes as we used to. So we had to find alternative ways of surviving and adapting.
And you are doing just that. The country moved into level 4 of the national lockdown plan, and it is now mandatory to wear cloth masks when leaving our homes. As a contributor to the fashion industry, you found it fitting to contribute to fighting the spread of COVID-19 through the use of design work and creating protective face masks. Why did you feel the need to create designer face masks, and how was this plan executed?
I mean, we started with a couple of mock-ups, and I wanted masks that would be comfortable on the face. Because I mean, I've tried a couple of masks out, and I'd find that they're very uncomfortable around the ears. I mean, those were the first masks that we made. And over a period of time, I started working on my mask and trying to find ways of how you're able to talk and be comfortable and not feel like you wanna fiddle with the mask and move it around. And eventually, I came up with a mask that sits perfectly well on the face and that will be comfortable around the head as well.
That's something very important to look at when buying a face mask. If it's comfortable, if you don't feel suffocated, and if it fits properly for your face. I've seen a lot of, material face masks, like from denim to leather. Like, what type of textiles are being used to create these face masks, and how do you come with the designs?
I mean, for me, I use quite a lot of different types of fabrics, especially on the outside. I've got the Expresso branded fabrics, and I've got your denims, your scubas. I've used cotton. But how I've done my masks, I've done them in such a way that they are 3-layered. And the outside can be just about any fabric. And in the middle, I put a filter as an added extra protective measure. And I line with poly cotton to give it that extra volume and thickness.
Earlier on, you've mentioned that there's an uncertainty on how to wear a face mask and how exactly it should sit on your face. So for people who are still unaware or are struggling to get the perfect face mask, what would you say the fit should be like, to kind of refrain from suffocating?
I mean, it should obviously cover your mouth and 50% of your nose. You don't want a mask that's going to suffocate you. You must still be able to breathe through the mask.
With the proceeds from the masks that you sell, you decided to create and donate masks for sectors of the community that are usually forgotten, like, for example, the blind members of our communities. Why is there a need for this, and what contribution have you made to these communities?
I mean, I've been in fashion for a very long time, and I've worked with a whole lot of doctors, and I've been doing a lot of scrubs. And with all of these scrubs, I feel that, with conversations that I've had with doctor friends and doctors around me, I got to learn about the Blind Association, and we got in touch with them, and we decided that, no, what better way to give back to the community, to the people that are not even paid attention to. We get people focusing on the elders and people focusing on the kids, but no one focuses on the blind. So I thought we should rather focus on that and give to the blinds.
That's amazing work that you are doing. Thank you so much for that. But now, how can the public, reach you in order to purchase a designer face mask?
They can get in touch with us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is Otis_Chapter. It's Otis with a Z. And across all social medias, it's Otis_Chapter, or on WhatsApp on 07967656668, or via email info@otischapter.com.
Before we let you go, Untitled, can you kindly show us how to put on one of your face masks?
We've got our Expresso mask with the elastic that goes behind the head. So what you do is you slide it over your head, and you cover 50% of your nose, and you can position it. And if you want it to be a bit tighter, you can still position the elastic a bit higher. You can still be able to speak through the mask and they're still very comfortable.
And I'm hearing you very clearly as you are speaking through the mask.
These are proper, well-engineered masks.
I love it, and we can witness it right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Once again, thank you so much for the amazing work that you do and these beautiful face masks.
Thanks for having me.
If you would like to order a mask or work with a charity organization wanting to benefit from the donation of the masks, you can reach out by sending an email to info@otisceflo.com. That's Otis with a Z.
Yep. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome again. And of course, as you may have noticed, we're talking about our social media channels, and anybody that has been creating, wearing or rocking some impressive face masks, we want to know what it is. Share it with us so we can show it off to the world. And of course, I know, as always, you guys have been coming through with the love tubs.
Oh, we received some really cool ones, some really interesting ones. Here's that solo fellow, Hope, who sent us a picture here saying, "Good morning, family. My favorite morning show always keeps me awake. Love you guys." And there's a picture of Tulufelo wearing her mask. That's such a nice polka-dotted mask, but it's got such a nice little pattern going on there. Tulufelo Hope, that looks really, really nice. And then we got another one from Jolene Hansard saying, "Gorgeous, guys." And that's obviously Emil and family over there. Hey, the 3 Ninja Turtles.
So much life there in that fan. That looks so cool, man.
You gotta love it. I love that. And then we got another one. Hey, look at this one. Jabulile Standwa Magudulela. This looks like Jabulile is about to rescue people out of a whole fire situation on the 10th floor of a building in the middle of New York.
It's not coming close to this guy.
The SWAT team, man. And then we also got one from Obida Sali saying, "I made my own one, cheaper. I can use the money to sponsor someone." Beautiful. Who needs food? But I like the colorful one, just thinking of our poor people. So this is really interesting. So because it doesn't need to necessarily be an N95 or N9 mask, for example, you can make one at home as long as you've got 3 layers, for example. There have been many tutorials. We had a chat earlier on the show about a month ago with Suzelle DIY. You can go find that on YouTube, where she teaches you step-by-step guide how to make your own mask at home. So just because you can't find it at the pharmacy,
no excuse. Right, we're over to Kat. Let's see what's cooking.
Well, it's been a wonderful season of Tropica Island of Treasure all the way in Curacao in the Caribbean, and hope that you've enjoyed every single week's episode. But of course, there's still an opportunity for you to find your smooth fame and fortune with Tropica. There are great prizes still up for grabs that you can win, of course, up to the value of R1 million. There is data, there's airtime, there's cash, LG G8X smartphones, LG dishwashers, and of course, guest watches, vouchers, and accessories. And the more Tropica you drink, the more chances you have to win. It's as simple as that. So get entering, and you only have 1 week left to win these prizes. All the T's and C's can be found on tropica.co.za. Now, on the line this morning, I have a very, very excited lady who is the latest winner of this amazing competition. Her name is Nolene Smith, all the way from Queenstown in the Eastern Cape, and she's the lucky winner of a guest gift voucher to the value of R1,000. Nolene, congratulations! Oh man, Nolene, wow, congratulations to you. How are you feeling about winning this gift voucher?
I am very, very excited. It's my first time ever winning something.
Wow, I'm glad to hear that. I'm so, so glad to hear that. And I'm sure you've entered many competitions before, so this is the first one, hopefully the first of many to come, right?
Oh, thanks, yes.
So do you have any idea what you're going to buy with your voucher?
Oh, yes. I'm going to buy me something nice that's going to remind me that, yes, I went from Tropica.
Yes, yes, maybe a post-lockdown outfit for that first party you attend when we are finally allowed to do so. Now, I'm sure you've been loving watching Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao. Do you have a favorite team at the moment, and why?
At the moment, it's Team Cool Red.
And why is that?
I just love them.
Yeah, they've been absolutely amazing throughout the season. And of course, next week, Tuesday, is the second part of the finale of this season of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao. And I'm sure you want Team Cool Red to win. Is that as simple as that, right?
Yes.
Well, hopefully they'll share their winnings with you just because you showed them your support a little bit. But before I let you go, do you have a message or something you want to say to Guess and to Tropica for the prize that you've won today?
Yes, I just want to say thank you very much to Tropica and to Guess for giving me this opportunity. I am very, very grateful.
Well, thank you for taking up the opportunity to enter the competition, and congratulations once again on winning that Guess voucher. Now, of course, if you missed out on this week's episode of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao, remember to catch the repeat tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. only on SABC3. And of course, remember that you can win while watching your favorite show with your favorite Tropica flavor in hand. All you have to do is take a picture with your Tropica and tweet it using hashtag Tropica to stand a chance of winning your share of data and cash prizes. Good luck and get entering.
Find your smooth fortune with Tropica. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and stand a chance to win your share of 1 million rand in prizes, such as a trip for two with KLM to Amsterdam, LG G8X cell phones, LG TVs and dishwashers, Guess vouchers, Guess watches and accessories, plus the smooth grand prize of a Suzuki Ignis. The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win. Tropica. Nothing smoother.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So to close off Africa Month celebrations, Brand South Africa and the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, in association with Constitution Hill, are proud to present the Play Your Part Africa live stream concert featuring South Africa's songstress supreme, Thandiswa Mazwai. Welcome to the show, Thandiswa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, of course, we all know that COVID-19, this entire pandemic, has had a dramatic effect on the lives of South Africans in all aspects. Talk to us from a personal point of view and perhaps a professional point of view. How has it affected your life and how are you coping?
You know, I think the first 5 weeks were really difficult for me. I think I kind of went into a deep depression. And I didn't really do anything. I didn't do anything creative. I just sat there and watched Game of Thrones from like season 1.
I think one of my personal favorite shows, so it's cool. I understand. But you are going to be applying yourself creatively. You'll be performing and playing your part in the Play Your Part concert in the spirit of celebrating Africa Month. So tell me about how this collaboration came upon your path.
Well, you know, we were supposed to be doing a big Africa Day performance with the baseline. That was a big festival that was supposed to happen before the lockdown. Brad from Baseline Promotions called me and said, listen, we want to do a little bit of an online thing. Are you keen to try it out? And I was pretty apprehensive about it because, you know, I'm not used to performing without an audience. Yeah, so, but because it's Africa Day, it's Africa Month, and because I'm a huge supporter of all things African and positive, I thought this should be something that I can try. Even though it's a difficult thing to do, I thought this is where I should place my bravery.
Yeah, very true. And I mean, I want to talk to you about that, how you are going about preparing yourself for that environment to perform without a live audience or a live crowd or necessarily anybody around you to kind of appreciate your performance and feel it, because that adds a lot to a performer's energy and the way that they come across. So what have you been doing to kind of get yourself used to that environment and get accustomed to it?
Well, you know, a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is mental. It's just kind of preparing my brain for the idea of communicating without physical contact. This is really hard to imagine. So I'm just doing the mental work that it takes to be able to, engage these new forms of communication, from a distance.
Yeah, a challenge that I think could also yield great results in the sense of, an artist being able to connect to a deeper part of their artistry during this kind of time. Now, I understand that the concert will be held at the Women's Jail at Constitution Hill. Now, could you explain a little bit behind the rationale of that?
I think the venue was chosen by Brand South Africa, actually. And because of the support that the Con Hill is giving to this particular performance. And for me, I thought that it was actually a great place to have this performance because it's a historic venue, and this is the first time the world has experienced this kind of pandemic in the last 100 years. And so this is basically marking our presence in this time and marking our energy around the idea of solidarity with the whole world, because we're all in the same boat at the moment.
All right, so which other artists will be making part of the lineup? What's the setup looking like there?
I just found out that Baba Mal is also now on the lineup, and so is Matala Kunene. And of course, these are two favorites of mine. I've met Baba Mal a few times, and of course, I love Matala Kunene. So I just look forward to be part of a really beautiful and very African lineup.
Yeah. And perhaps as a teaser to all the fans out there, what are you going to be performing?
I have no idea. I've been asked this question. Usually when we do gigs, we prepare a whole range of things. And then tonight, the songs choose themselves. The songs decide what needs to be sung on that day. So we're preparing a whole bunch of things. We're preparing a lot of my music, and we're also preparing some music from some African greats. And yeah, we'll see what happens on the night.
I'm sure it's going to be something very, very special. Good luck with all the preparations, and come show night, even better luck then. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your support.
Well, the performance by Thandiswa Mazwai and other legendary African artists will be live streamed on the 30th of May at 8 p.m. from the Women's Jail at Constitution Hill in Johannesburg. And everyone can catch it for free by searching for Play Your Part Africa on the website skyroomlive.com. Our big thanks again to Thandiswa Mazwai for joining us.
African gem, a South African gem indeed, Thandiswa Mazwai. Thank you so much for that. What an incredible artist, and of course, what a beautiful performance that of Makube Njalo. Time for us to take a look at your 8 o'clock news headlines. An urgent court bid by financially distressed hairdressers to be allowed to go back to work was yesterday dismissed in the Western Cape High Court. Advocate Carlo Viljoen brought an application on behalf of hundreds of hairdressers who were financially in distress due to the current ban. Meanwhile, Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma yesterday said that all domestic workers will be allowed to go back to work during Level 3. She said they are a support structure for those who must return to work under Level 3. Amid allegations of corruption linked to COVID-19 relief efforts, Defence Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula yesterday said a collaboration framework had been developed to prevent, detect, investigate, prosecute and recover stolen assets. She said they had received several complaints regarding corruption linked to COVID-19 relief efforts for the poor. Law enforcement will address all allegations of corruption and will ensure that those who are charged face prosecution, she said. Meanwhile, Police Minister Bheki Cele said 841 police officers had been diagnosed with COVID-19, of which 601 were in the Western Cape. In international headlines, iconic sites such as the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem and the ruins of ancient Pompeii in Italy have reopened to pilgrims and tourists as countries further ease coronavirus controls to reboot shuttered economies. For many nations, including hard-hit Italy and Spain, the summer season will be key to saving what is left of the tourism industry and the latest tentative steps out of lockdown buoyed world markets. This, while the number of cases worldwide has surpassed the 5.5 million mark, with more than 346,000 deaths. The number of coronavirus cases in Zimbabwe has more than doubled to 132 over the past 24 hours. A government spokesperson has said most were Zimbabweans who had returned from abroad, mainly from South Africa and Botswana. Only one case was a local transmission. More than 4,000 Zimbabweans have since returned to the country in the past month. Those who return are being placed under mandatory quarantine for 21 days. But it's reported that some 100 of them had fled and were being sought by security agents. And now, how a 91-year-old South African business titan aims to raise 108 million rand to feed the hungry. The 91-year-old entrepreneur who, amongst others, built the Gold Reef City Casino, South Africa's only apartheid museum, a school in Soweto, and funded various educational institutions, is not done yet. Solly Krok's new venture is called Keep the Wolf from the Door. His latest business venture involves putting his legs to the test. Inspired by 100-year-old Captain Tom Moore, the British Army veteran who raised £39 million for charity in the United Kingdom, Krok has been doing a symbolic walk in Johannesburg, where he lives, to complete 91 kilometers in total by Thursday. This to raise 108 million rand to fund hunger and food security in South Africa. To achieve his goal, Krok has partnered with social impact organizations Africa Tikkun and Siakana. He says he's determined to make a long-term difference by coupling the program with sustainable food banks. In an interview on his 90th birthday, Krok recalled having once asked a rabbi what he should teach his children. The rabbi's response was example. And this is what has inspired Solly's amazing life ethos ever since. And now turning our gaze to the world of entertainment, local musician Zakes Bantwini has a lot to celebrate. He turned 40 years old this past Tuesday. He has just established his very own music label, and he has been accepted into one of the most prestigious universities in the world. The Kwaito artist and producer shared that he will be taking on the Business of Entertainment, Media and Sports course at the Harvard Business School, the same class that American singer Ciara completed last year. He said that he's looking forward to developing effective business strategies in a rapidly changing environment, and that includes both new technology and the consequences of current COVID-19 crisis. This expertise will come in handy with his new label, All Electronic Music, which has set out to distribute electronic music from Africa on a global scale. An official statement explains that focus is to support and sign releases, making African music accessible for all. And that is definitely a happy 40th birthday for Zakes and a major boost for continental talent this Africa Month. That's where we leave it for now. Here's a final look at your weather.
Congratulations to Zakes Bantwini. That was a beautiful way of rounding up the news headlines today. Thank you so much, Uncle Tabsy. Right now, it's time for us to have the final look at the weather this morning. But first, at those sunrise pictures that you've sent, Marna Low wishes us a happy Friday with this early morning sunrise picture showing off the stunning dark sky in Jeffreys Bay in the Eastern Cape. J Bay today can expect mostly cloudy and breezy conditions with morning showers reaching a high of 18 degrees. Friend of Expresso, Sandra February, always leaves us speechless with her amazing photography. Sandra captured this gorgeous picture just after the heavy rains in the mother city. Cape Town can expect a passing morning shower and will have intervals of clouds and sunshine throughout the day, reaching a maximum temperature of 18 degrees. Sandra says Cape Town is a hometown and she absolutely loves her city because it gives birth to new beauties such as these every single day. Thank you both, Marna and Sandra, for sending in your sunrise pictures. We hope you have an awesome start to your weekend. It's going to be another cool, wet and windy day for most parts of our country, ngaphandle kwasePolokwane, because it's going to be a sunny day there with a maximum of 24 and a minimum of 8. And the highest temperature in the country for Mbombela at a peak of 30 degrees and a low of 8. Plenty of sunshine for Pretoria. 22 is your maximum temperature with a low of 6 rather. Mostly sunny for Johannesburg, 419. Mahikeng, your temperatures range from 5 reaching a high of 23. Klerksdorp, 623. Partly sunny for Kimberley at a low of 2 reaching a high of 19. And the coolest start to the day reaching below 0 for Bloemfontein at -1 reaching a high of 18. Richards Bay, 1626. More sunshine than clouds for Pietermaritzburg at a high of 24 and a minimum of 8. Durban, 1525. Mthatha, 722. Cloudy and windy with occasional afternoon drizzle for East London at a low of 12 degrees, reaching a high of 21. Intervals of sun and clouds for Cradock, 617. Port Elizabeth, 1018. It's going to be a rainy day today. Periods of rain for George at a low of 10 degrees, reaching a high of 16. Low clouds with a gentle westerly breeze of 18 kilometers an hour for Sutherland at a low of 3 degrees, reaching a high of 13. Cape Town, 1018. Thick cloud cover with a couple of showers for Worcester at a low of 8 degrees, reaching a high of 17. Times of clouds and sun for Uppington at a maximum of 23 and a minimum of 6. Now, being on lockdown does not mean we can't get to see this beautiful country we live in. So please do send us a picture or a video of your hometown and we can show it live on the show. Make sure to include a picture of yourself and why you love your town so much. South Africa is a beautiful country built on the spirit of ubuntu and giving back, especially during these trying times. And we can do more of that, of giving back in society. And Ukatleko finds out more on how we can do that with Nedbank.
Now, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the South African government set up the Solidarity Fund to enable both the international and local community to donate to those in need. Now, the funds collected will be used for the prevention, detection, care and support for those whose lives have been disrupted by the pandemic. And this morning, Sarah Koopman from Nedbank joins us to share how you can now donate in a matter of just a few clicks. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Sarah, Nedbank have made it very, very easy for clients to donate to the Solidarity Fund. Let's talk more about that and how they can do so.
So Nedbank, has got such a strong reputation as being an active corporate citizen. And when we heard about the initiative of the Solidarity Fund to really help South Africans come through the crisis, we knew we had to jump at the opportunity to get involved. So as a bank, we are really proud of staying true to our purpose of doing good for individuals and families and societies, and collectively there's already been 15 million rand contributed to the COVID-19 relief efforts, including 3 million rand that are contributions just from Nedbank staff. And this direct contribution was donated to the Solidarity Fund and is targeted towards the community initiatives that the fund is going to be doing.
So is there a minimum or a maximum amount that clients can donate?
I think the minimum amount is 25 rand, particularly from our Greenbacks rewards program, where clients can now donate their Greenbacks points instead of a cash amount if they wish to the Solidarity Fund at a minimum of 25 rand.
And so why would you encourage Nedbank clients to donate to the fund?
I think doing good for society and for individuals is so integral to the Nedbank brand, and particularly the Greenbacks brand. And the Greenbacks program has been designed with goodness at its heart. We have the Nedbank Affinities program that is baked into the Greenbacks program. And during this time, while some South Africans are able to donate in cash, I understand that a lot of South Africans want to do what they can to contribute to the fund. And while some people are able to make use of their greenbacks and to make a donation in points rather than cash, it's all part of contributing to that greater effort to help all of South Africa come through this crisis.
I think it's a wonderful way of getting us as South Africans to get together and really help to build the greater good and that rainbow nation that we all seek. So thanks to you and the team at Nedbank for making it possible to do so.
Thank you so much for the time, and we look forward to getting many, many more South Africans behind this wonderful cause with Nedbank and Greenback.
Well, let's make helping each other a habit, and you can donate your greenbacks to the Solidarity Fund by visiting the Nedbank Money app, or you can go to www.nedbankgreenbacks.co.za. American Express card members can also donate their rewards points by visiting membershiprewards.co.za.
Ageng, So I'm chatting to Umalume Mosa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Now, this next guy, listen to this. He's a top model. He's gracing covers and the catwalks all over the world. An actor, a writer, an activist, and founder of the Rolled Sleeves Outreach Program. I'm talking about Sanele Xaba, who is in a league on his own, making waves throughout the African continent and the world by pushing beauty boundaries, changing stereotypes and raising awareness on albinism. Now, this morning, the South African activist, often referred to as Sanele Undercover Black Xaba, joins us to chat life in lockdown and what it means to be African this Africa Month. Sanele Xaba, good morning. Great to see you again. Tell us, how have you been keeping yourself busy during the lockdown?
Wow, every day is every day, We're just staying home, staying safe, But yeah, so I've been just keeping myself entertained. I've started painting again, so it's one of my new favorite therapeutic hobbies. Just trying to make the most of the lockdown.
Sanele, so good to have you. Now, Sanele, you are the founder of the Rolled Sleeves Outreach Program. Tell us more about this program.
So the Rolled Sleeves Outreach Program, I started it when I was in high school, actually. So basically, the whole aim of it was to ensure that children in children's homes have access to study aids like take like an X kit to help them for accounting, physics, mathematics, etc., and stationery and school uniforms. So we partnered with a lot of neighboring schools, and just to ensure, just obviously provide these basic needs for kids in children's homes, because you have times where some of the kids get bursaries to these really expensive schools, and they don't have maybe the finances to buy calculators or X kits. So basically, I saw like a need to just ensure that no one has to just to take that stress on their back.
Yeah,
so that's why I decided to start the Rolled Sleeves Foundation.
And that the kids don't go without the necessary tools, Sanele. But you've got that going on. Then you are doing such incredible work around educating people on albinism and how you're helping to change the stereotypes on people who are living with albinism. Tell us about that.
We also have an NGO in Amsterdam. It's called Inside the Same. We provide prescription glasses to children with albinism in Tanzania, and we have partnered with so many companies with helping us, to continue doing this. And just to educate, what I also do is mainly do a lot of talks in schools where I talk about the different the 5 types of albinism, actually. So do that. But the whole aim of doing is to ensure that there's education around it, and we kind of change the narrative of people with albinism. And yeah, that's I believe that I have the platform to do this, and I try to make sure that I do it at all times possible, because you never know who you're educating.
You know, what I really like about your style and your work, Sanele, is that a lot of what you do is really rooted in the principles and values of being African. It's about giving back. It's about showing Ubuntu in everything that you do, and you do that so well. And here we are, Africa Month, this month of May. What words of encouragement then do you have for your fellow Africans out there to start, making a change in their communities, or even at home, even in their own lives?
To remember the values that, we as Africa stand for, and Ubuntu, and it's to being empathetic, the simple thing. And we do that a lot here in South Africa. It could be, giving your housekeeper, still paying them their normal salary, even though we are in lockdown. It's the best time to actually practice Ubuntu.
It's the little things that go a long way, Sanele, loud and clear. Finally, what would you say it means to you to be African? What does it mean, being African, to Sanele Xaba?
It's to be resilient, it's to be brave, it's to be brazen, it's just to be unapologetically yourself. We're full with so much diversity, and we're rich in culture, and I just feel like, that's what it means to be African, just to be you and to be strong and bold.
And we see that every day in people like you, Sanele, who are so authentic and so true to themselves, and just being so authentic allows you to be able to reach and touch so many people and so many lives in the ways that you do. Thank you so much, Sanele Xaba. You really are a superstar. You are a superstar.
Thank you so much.
A heartfelt thank you to Sanele Xaba for joining us this morning. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Continue to push boundaries and create change, not only here in South Africa, but across the globe. Continue to be fearless. Continue to be brave. We love you. We thank you for being an inspiration to so many, especially those who live with albinism.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tabzi, and such a true inspiration indeed. Such a magic thing to see, and how so many of us can really push ourselves. Now, it's time to head back into the kitchen, where we're going to be whisking away to another African island.
Olive Pride brings a touch of pride and the natural beauty of olive oil to your table. Made with love by Clover.
Yeah, that's right. You heard correctly, an African island indeed. And as Africa Month comes to an end, we're finishing off with a bang of flavor. And today we're traveling to Mozambique. It's Mozambique, and we're showing you how to make peri-peri chicken wings. It's perfect for the braai, and thanks to the delicate olive flavor of Olive Pride blend, this recipe packs a punch. So make it jarful and use as desired. And it is Mnandi Kakulu. Nicole, what is smelling so good in the kitchen?
Yeah. Oh, you guys have really adopted that here.
So what's happening?
We're making prawns with a Mozambican influence, which I feel is a lot of Portuguese influence. So we're looking at chilies, paprika, garlic, lots of garlic. So we've got 3 cloves chopped up here.
Spices, I'd imagine.
Yes, exactly. So it's a very nice marinade recipe. So you can keep it in a jar in your fridge until you're ready to use it, or I actually used everything to coat these.
Okay.
So we're going to put the garlic in with a ½ cup of your Olive Pride oil. So
I must just say, Nicole, I love chicken wings. It's like the perfect protein slider, you're just craving that little snack in the evening.
It is a little snack, isn't it?
So you've already got my box ticked here, so I'm listening with pure intent. Please bring it.
Better. So we've got some vinegar in here, so that also helps break down the proteins in the chicken wings, make them super soft and juicy. Chili powder, because you can't have enough chili. Fresh chilies as well.
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah, so dried and the fresh chili. We've got some paprika going in here.
This might sound corny, but I really love the fact that this spice is really adding to us not having such a weekend, but a strong end to our week. See what I did there?
Okay, so we're going to pop in some salt. I've added some oregano. You can add in any dried herbs you have in your store.
Okay.
They're going to let that just do its thing, mix, mix, mix.
So this is it like a marinade, a base thing? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a marinade. So
and this is something you don't have to just use with this meal, I'm assuming you can.
No, I would even do chicken breasts, like Prega style, with this marinade, yeah. Or you could do steaks as well, even fish, because it's got a beautiful lemon zest, and we're going to add some lemon juice in here as well. So it would do really, really well. Fish and seafood, which is also very abundant in Mozambique.
So actually, do yourselves a favor if you're at home and make a big jar of this, I'd imagine, because it seems like the uses are endless.
Exactly. So double up, triple up the recipe. There's nothing really in here that will go off because you've got your beautiful olive pride oil in here that acts as your preservative.
Yes.
So the only thing that could possibly go off is your garlic, but that won't be an issue because of the oil.
Oil's amazing, especially the fact that, yes, it's a preservative, but I often mention this, but it really helps when it comes to anti-inflammatory properties. It boosts testosterone in males as well, so it's a really good training food. It's nutritionally dense, and it kind of lubricates the body at the same time, so it's actually got so many endless benefits, and especially when you put it on chicken.
Exactly. So we're going to pop in our chicken wings in here so that it can marinate, or you can leave it overnight. I would say 3 to 4 hours is ideal if you don't have overnight. And then just give them a mix. Or the best way to marinate them is also in like a Ziploc bag, in a little plastic bag with a seal.
And then you can just like shuffle it around and do the
Shake it up.
things.
And I also feel, don't throw away your Ziplocs when at the end, you know, like those plastic bags, if you're gonna use them, wash them out, hang them up on the washing line, that's what I do, and use them again, because I feel like people are very wasteful with them because,
I like
you know,
that.
we've got to think about the
Sustainability,
future.
conservation, very nice.
Exactly.
Nature Boy is loving this. Thank you. You guys at home, take note. We're doing some good things here.
It's especially if they're perfectly in good condition, you know, and they're expensive too.
Yeah.
Don't be wasteful. So say we've fast forwarded overnight, it's marinated beautifully, and what happens is you'll feel the chicken and you'll see it as well. It goes slightly like cooked color. That's from the lemon juice and the vinegar. So that's also what helps tenderizing it. And pop it in the oven, or you could do them over the braai. If you guys are braaiing this weekend, this is a perfect little starter or a main, depending on your appetite. And you're gonna cook them for about 15 to 20 minutes. I wouldn't do longer than that because they are small little wings. You don't wanna overcook them and dry them out.
Unless you want that extra little crisp.
Crispy wings, but then you deep fry them.
All right, well, as simple as that, guys. 20 minutes in the oven and you've got yourself an adventure out in Madagascar. So what's your saucy secret to a tasty dish? We want to know all about it today. It's the last day of the #LoveClover competition, and we have been loving your entry so much. And top fan Cooper D shared a beautiful pic of her oats in which she used Clover's fresh milk. It's simply satisfying, and what a pretty picture indeed. And now you see Lesedi Motego has been keeping it local and lekker, and she shared a pic of her pap and beef stew. Now, does that not look like comfort food at its best? Oh, and it's your last chance to enter it, so make it count and reply to the Clover competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page by posting a pic of your recipe creation. And of course, use the #LoveClover and tell us which Clover product you used to create your dish. The winner will win a Clover Love Pack hamper, and we will be making that winning recipe right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Your T's and C's apply and can be found at expressoshow.com. I'm over to Madagascar. Cheers, guys.
Brings a touch of pride and the natural beauty of olive oil to your table. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Donovan Goliath and Davina May Gordon have been inspiring and spreading the right messages as the world is asked to stay home. However, in spite of all the gloominess, these creators have found ways to bring a bit of humor to the chaos. Let's take a look exactly how.
I'm parking at home and I'm about to eat a cow. My fro cooked, but to be honest, she don't know how. Anyway, she tuned me. Here's a pasta with a twisto. I'm looking at my plate and all I check is eggs and gusto. There's 1, 2 carrots, peanut butter, and some chocolate bacon. I'm getting bung because I can check she don't know what she's making. I took a bite and then my stomach started feeling funny. She tuned me, how's it? I tuned, It's yummy, yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy. Girl, your chow is yummy, yummy.
Social media is, of course, buzzing after this proudly South African couple continues to produce content that has made the lockdown that much more bearable by entertaining us with their ad-like images and beautiful violin performances. Now, they are joining us this morning to talk about their creative process and how they've come up with these imaginative ideas at home. Good morning, you two beautiful people.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. You two are probably the most loved couple right now in South Africa. Funny, serving us content, everything. Take us through the process and how it all started for you guys.
Man, you know, very early on, we realized that we're probably not going to be on stage for probably another year or so. So that's out of the question. I'm not going to be doing any comedy. Davina's probably not going to be jumping on any stage to perform. So we were just like, look, let's use this opportunity. You know, we always make excuses not to do the other stuff that we want to do because of time. So now we have time. So yeah, we've just been sitting, you know, every day we kind of brainstorm something new, something challenging, something exciting for us because we're both very curious creators. And we, you know, we don't just stick to our disciplines. We try and challenge ourselves and throw it all over the place. And it's had such incredible feedback.
I love that. Whose idea was it to come up with all of these, you know, inspiration? And where do you guys find inspiration during this national lockdown?
I guess it's a joint effort, you know, because we never put the same thing out. You know, whoever gets hit with the jolt of inspiration or an idea, you know, we'll bounce it off and kind of play around with it and tweak and test it. If it doesn't work, there are many ideas that we've tried that we haven't put out on social media yet because you look back at it and you go, nah, this is actually terrible. So I can safely say it's been a joint effort.
Serving us couple goals. But Davina, we know you for your amazing violin skills. However, during lockdown, you decided to give Donovan a quick lesson and 101 on violin. Let's see how that went.
All you have to do is position the violin on your left shoulder.
Does it have to be left?
It has to be left.
Okay.
And you're going to hold the bow like this.
Hey, you see? Told you I'm doing this. She's getting off with me.
I'm not getting off.
This is like trap violin.
No, being in a room with you playing like this is a trap. That's what it is.
Oh, wow. Did you actually learn anything from that, Donovan?
No. Look, I can play about 2 seconds, which is all I need. That's more than most people out there. It's an instrument that doesn't need to exist. It's like somebody had a guitar and they were like, let's make this even more difficult and play this guitar with a stick.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, my ears haven't recovered.
The shade. Listen, also as artists, you know, and as a couple, what has it been like working? Has it been a lot of fights? Has it been drama? Is it all love all the time? What has that been like, keeping, you know, the energy going and still keeping the love once the camera goes down?
It's not love all the time, I wouldn't say. I think we have like little disagreements here and there, but mostly on
what are we going to wear? Are you sure you want to wear that top? You know, it's those kinds of discussions. So it's not smooth sailing all the way through. But yeah, it's definitely motivated us to put out more because we've just been receiving so much positive feedback. And, you know, we've now officially we're using social media as a stage since we can't perform on other stages. So that's definitely been a big motivator, you know, to constantly put out more stuff. And yeah, we're learning so much from each other, like more, you know, like had it not been for the lockdown, we wouldn't have done all the stuff that we've been doing now. So I would say it has brought us a little closer.
Talking about recognition, are we not going to talk about the fact that Missy Elliott actually liked and followed you guys on social media? What does that even do to one's following? What does it do to your confidence, your self-esteem? I'll just be like, guys, do not speak to me. Missy Elliott just followed and liked my video. Thank you very much.
That on my CV.
Yeah, we used that for the first like 2 or 3 days. You know, we'd miss a call or a Zoom meeting, and we'd be like, sorry guys,
Missy was busy.
Yeah, Missy, you know, sorry about that. But I must say, it did put us under a little bit of pressure because, you know, the imposter syndrome will kick in. So every out you go, what would Missy think about
what would
this?
Missy say?
So if Missy were to judge this, would this actually be very good content? But what a great confidence booster, though, you know. I mean, she's been a fan, or we've been fans, sorry, of hers forever, you know, and one of the most creative people out there. And for her to recognize it and give us a shout out was just, and it came out of nowhere because we weren't expecting it, you know. So it felt even better because it was such a shock. We were just going about our day, and then bam, this notification pops up.
The levels, I mean, that is just where it's been said. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put it there now and reverse it. Okay. Listen, we've also noticed that there's a new addition to the family that has been making appearances in your content as well. Your puppy Charlie, I mean, talk us through it. He is the cutest ever.
Shall I get him?
She'll get Charlie for you.
Please get Charlie.
Oh, there you go. Say hello.
Hi, Charlie.
Sleeping, so he's very not really awake right now.
He is still sleeping. It's fine, Charlie. He is the cute. I mean, it must be so amazing to have the two of you, but then also have this little addition to the family.
He's been a wonderful distraction, you know, just helping us forget what's going on in the world, and he's just adding so much joy and love at home.
Can I add something to that? I also think sometimes he goes, out of every family that could have adopted me, I can't believe you were constantly putting me in TikTok videos and trying to do things. I'm a dog. Let me live. Let me do dog things.
Let me be a dog.
I'm not a person. Don't make me dance with you on TikTok.
Oh, he is so blessed to have such two cool parents. But one of our favorite collaborations are your Sounds On challenge videos, where Donovan gives Davina 10 sounds from a category that she has to recreate on the violin. You have no idea what I'm talking about? Take a look.
Superman. Isidingo. Easy one, Pink Panther.
This is how you get served brilliant. So, you know what, guys? We thought we'd give you a challenge of our own here at Expresso with only 3 iconic series theme songs for you to recreate on the violin. Are you guys up for it?
Sure, let's go.
Are you up for it, Davina?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Bring on the violin. Where's the violin? Where's the violin? Let me see it.
Play?
No, we want people to watch the show. Okay?
All right.
So let's just move on.
Okay, so the first one is going to be Siebendelaan.
Okay, here we go.
That is so insane. Look at the hype man at the back there. Yes, round of applause. And of course, we have to do it. Expresso Morning Show theme song. This is going to be a challenge. Let's see if you can actually do it. listen, I think that we might actually have a new theme song now. I think we're going to maybe ditch the old one and this is going to be the new one. But guys, thank you so much for joining and just inspiring us this morning, Davina and Donovan. You guys were amazing.
Thank you so much for having us.
The creative juices are certainly flowing during lockdown, showing us that being at home doesn't need to put a pause on your creativity.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Denim, denim, denim. It is fashion's most coveted classic that has evolved over the years, season in and out, and showcased in creative adaptations thanks to street style stars and international runways. Now, what we're really after are the silhouettes that will stand the test of time. Now, joining us is stylist and fashion director Taryn Oppel to share some insight on the latest in denim and the best styles to wear now and possibly forever. Morning, welcome, my friend.
Good morning.
Is it possible to wear jeans all day and still be comfortable? I mean, is that even a question?
It is, you know, and I'm actually happy to report that it is possible to step away from your track pants once in a while. It's probably a good thing, you know, we need to maintain our sense of style for when we get back out in the real world. But what we want from our jeans is exactly the reason we love our track pants, and that is a good amount of stretch. So you can find exactly that within the Woolworths denim collections. All the styles are made from stretchy blended yarn, so it's incredibly soft and really comfortable enough to wear throughout the day. And another thing that I love about Woolworths denim is that it's made sustainably and ethically, you know, using less water, less toxic chemicals. And I always say that what's good for the environment is good for you and your wardrobe.
Preach, sister. It goes without saying that denim is a universal wardrobe staple. But what are the standout styles for this season? Please school us.
So the runway showcase a lot of unconventional styles, you know, like Bermuda shorts, front seam vintage styles, you know, denim that you feel like you could have picked up from a thrift store, and a fair amount of ivory and white denim. Skinny jeans lovers out there will be happy to know that skinny jeans aren't going anywhere. But my personal favorite is a classic straight cut denim that just grazes the ankle. I think it's the most versatile style, and most importantly, it goes with any style shoe.
Okay, listen, you mentioned white denim. I'm sure that so many people will agree when I say that the thought of white denim scares me. I mean, just being a mommy, how do you incorporate this into your wardrobe?
I mean, for good reason. It terrifies me as well. Just the thought of a wrong move with a cup of coffee and all disaster will break out. But I think another reason why people are so intimidated by white denim, or they're afraid to wear it, is because it feels like there's nowhere to hide, or it's not as forgiving as blue or black denim might be. But it is a huge trend this year for colder and warmer months. It's a refreshing option to try, and it's not actually that difficult to wear. The key to styling white denim is to keep it simple and chic. You know, I would stay away from super bright colors to begin with. I love the idea of head to toe white, and then introducing hints of camel or tan or, you know, earthy tones in the form of a coat or a trench for lazy days at home or maybe on the weekend. You could dress it down with white sneakers and a really comfy knit, and dress it up with a block heel boot maybe. And then, you know, you could always keep it quite classic and pair it with black.
Love that. Well, Taryn Oppel, fashion director and stylist, thank you so much for inspiring me. I might just give white denim a chance after all.
Do it. You won't regret it.
If you too are inspired to trade your track pants in for comfortable jeans instead, look no further than Woolworths, where you can get 30% off women's, men's and kids denim in store, online or on the Woolworths app.
All right, so earlier on, Chef Clem showed us how to spatchcock a chicken and how to prepare chicken brine for the juiciest chicken ever, he promises. Well, sit tight because he's back in the kitchen to teach us how to make lip-smacking roast chicken for tonight's dinner. And this is, so earlier on, you made a beautiful brine.
Yeah.
And you let the chicken sit in there, but what you would do at home is let it sit in there for 6 hours, you said?
6 hours to 8 hours.
6 to 8 hours.
It's a good time because you would put it into the brine, put it into the fridge, and then let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow morning take it out.
Yeah, because the salt breaks up, like you said, the muscle fiber tissue and opens it up and allows it to just take in the moisture and seal it in there, right?
Absolutely.
Which is how you get the juicy.
So you'll notice that it's done its job because if you actually pick it up, you'll feel it's got some weight to it.
Oh, wow.
The chicken's definitely getting...
And you can actually see it on the thighs and the drumsticks. They're a little bit more plumper than they were before because they've absorbed all of that lovely juice.
And because we use the garlic, because we use thyme in there, we use the lemons in there as well, it's absorbed those flavors. So I use thyme, but you could use rosemary.
Yeah.
You could use bay leaves. It's whatever you have that'll add a nice aromatic flavor to it. Some people like using onion and garlic. It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Keeping in mind, you've also added salt and sugar there. So it's taken in the seasoning element of it. So when you do season your chicken, don't be generous.
Don't be generous.
Just be light with it. So
You've already done the work, basically.
It's done most of the work already.
Okay.
What you do need to do is get some absorbent paper towel, and you're going to pat that skin dry, and that's going to give it a little boost, a little kickstart to help that skin crisp up and go deliciously papery crisp.
Okay.
So get rid of that moisture. What I also like doing, just to give it a dab. What I also like doing is I like taking my chicken out of the brine and then leaving it uncovered in the fridge for about 2 hours. People don't know that the fridge is a dehydrator. So you'll notice the skin starts to shrink and starts going dry.
Okay.
And that's great, because then you really get that nice papery skin, which is exactly what you want.
Okay, good.
So we're only going to cook it, heat the skin side up. We're not going to turn it at all. So we want to add flavor to the flesh of the bottom. To do that, we're going to add some thyme to our roasting tray. I like lining it with baking paper.
Yes?
I'm not good at doing dishes. I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. And then afterwards, you just throw away the baking paper.
And a light clean, and then you're good. So then some lemon goes on. So what's going to happen is, as that chicken's busy roasting, the heat that's coming from the lemons is going to cause it to steam.
Boost those flavors up there.
And it's going to permeate through that chicken, the lemon and thyme flavor. Again, swap out your thyme for a bit of rosemary, a little bay leaves, but I love the lemon in there.
Whatever flavors you like to have. Whatever flavors you like to have.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like the lemon's good. The lemon's good. Keep the lemon there. So then we're going to take our chicken.
Yeah.
And it's going to go straight onto this tray. And then it goes into the oven. And because we spatchcocked it, half an hour is all you need. Half an hour is all you need. The skin, it's so amazing. While it's actually busy cooking, you look at it, you can see the fat bubbling under the skin. It's amazing.
And allow it to do that.
Yeah, it's so delicious.
Wow,
crispy skin. The meat is so tender. You can always tell by the chicken breast.
Yes.
When you slice into it, and you squeeze it, and that juice just runs out.
Oh, and that's how you like it, because nobody likes a dry breast.
No, absolutely.
Coughing there.
No,
oh,
not at all.
So unpleasant.
No. So brine your chicken. This brine works really well with chicken, but it works well with pork as well. If you're going to brine beef, do something like a brisket, because that, sometimes does lose moisture when you're cooking it.
Okay.
But brining your chicken is the best way to amplify your chicken. People don't do it, but now you need to be doing it.
Oh, man, this is absolutely amazing. And, of course, early on, you showed us exactly how to spatchcock it. So now we know from start to end how to get this. Give yourself some time.
Are you ready for another quick surgery?
Another lesson, yeah. But
Okay,
do give yourself some time if you're going to be making it over the weekend.
Yeah.
Start today. Go get that chicken today. It is part of the daily difference today.
It is.
Absolutely. So
Talking about, again, bring it back. Daily difference, that's where we got our chicken. But we want our viewers at home to be the daily difference in other people's lives.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, the gift of the givers. Help us fill a bag. To scan that QR code, any donation. We heard about 10 Rand that can literally feed a person for
3 days. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Now, back to surgery. You ready?
Okay.
Ready. We're going to break it down into 8 essential cuts right now. Okay? Which is your 2 legs, 2 thighs, 2 wings, 2 breasts.
Okay.
So I've got a saying, and we'll always remember this. When you're breaking down a chicken or when you carve a chicken, leg, thigh, breast, the rest.
Leg, thigh, breast, the rest.
There we go, and then you're done. So the leg is connected to the thigh, so that part comes off first. So you'll see there's a piece of skin here that's connecting it. So gently take your knife and just kind of score through the skin. And as soon as you do that, you'll see the leg falls away. Just like that. And again, you don't need so much force. You can even just use your hands at this point.
Oh,
I'm gonna do the one half, right? Because we're going to do it very quickly. You turn your chicken over. So what I'm feeling for is a knuckle, right? It feels like a knuckle. You put your finger on that bone. Am I there? Am I there? And you pop. It's super easy, no force. And what you've done is you've popped out that thigh bone.
Yes.
So what I'm gonna do, remember that oyster? It's sitting right there.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get rid of that oyster. So take your knife.
It's got flavor.
Moving around that oyster, cutting underneath it. We're going through the bone just like that. Coming down. Leg and thigh, done. Okay?
That looks as professional as I've ever seen it before.
Woo, samurai skills. Okay, next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for that's the leg and the thigh. Next is the
breast.
The breast. All we're gonna do is we're gonna feel down the center of the chicken. There's a bit of cartilage that's connecting the two breasts. For this
Make
part,
sure your knife is nice and sharp as well.
Make sure your knife is nice and sharp. This part, take your time. All you're gonna do is just gonna feel down the chicken. Let that cartilage guide your knife.
Yes.
What you do is follow follow that bone. Take off that breast. Feel there. I can feel there's a bit of that. Oh, it's off. That was even easier than I thought. There we go. You can take your wing off if you like. Let's take that wing off right there.
Some people like to just brine the wing on its own.
Take a bit of the breast off with the wing because the wing's quite small. There we go. So we got our thigh, we got our wings, we've got our leg and our thigh. Last one, very quickly.
The rest.
You can see there's a bit of skin connecting the leg to the thigh.
Yes.
That's your seam.
Lovely.
Go for that. Shoop. There's your thigh. There's your breast. There's your wing. Kat, this other half is for you because I want to see you do your skills later on after the show. That's how easy you put your chicken.
And then with those bones left over, you can create a nice, beautiful broth.
Most
chicken
amazing stock. Yeah.
Cook it up, go to a golden state, if you will, and then afterwards use it.
Yeah.
Beautiful chicken skills, man. Chef Clem, thank you very much. Of course, for all these tips and more and these recipes that we've shared this morning, you can check out our website, expressoshow.com. Thanks, Chef.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso right here on SABC3. It's a special day, not only because it's a Friday, but this morning we are joined by someone who is no stranger to our Expresso family. I'm talking about singer, songwriter, and performer Ulanga Mavuso. Now, the 26-year-old is known and fondly appreciated for his beautiful vocals and incredible lyricism. And this morning, the Joburg-based artist joins us to talk about how he has adjusted to life in lockdown and the release of his latest single that actually dropped today, titled Love Lost. Everybody, please give him a warm Expresso welcome. Woo-woo! Langa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. How are you doing?
I'm good, Gushe. I'm so proud of you, first of all. Excuse me. well done on everything that you've done. I'm excited. I'm so happy. I've been getting called the entire day about this new single, so I'm really, really happy today.
I'm so excited that you decided to, join us as like an exclusive interview. Also to give us
the first one.
The first one to talk about your latest single, O Love Lost. First, you have to say this for the culture. You should be here. No else here. The rain is pouring. It's literally raining outside. But how are you adapting to life in lockdown?
Oh man, it's been really tricky. I'm with my little brother. We live together, so we've kind of been really supporting each other through the process. Luckily, I've had some work with the album and having to mix and master it. So I've been really focused on the album during this time. And I think it's been a blessing in the sense that I've been able to give my entire focus to the album. I don't have to worry about gigs and all of those things. But in the same breath, I do miss performing so much. I do miss the audience. I do miss seeing people so much. But I understand that we're social distancing and isolating for a good reason. So we just have to do what we have to do.
I'm really excited to hear what it sounds like. But we've mentioned earlier on that you're only 26 and you've managed to solidify your presence in the music industry. How did you manage to do this at such a young age?
To be honest with you, I've spent a lot of time really focusing on understanding my craft and really mastering it. I spent a lot of time studying music. I went to the National School of the Arts where I did contemporary vocal voice as my first instrument. When I went to Rhodes, I did classical voice, and then when I went to UCT, I did jazz for 3 years under the tutelage of Amanda Tiffin. And throughout all of those experiences, I also worked in between. I was a session artist. I used to do a lot of corporates. In fact, I performed at the State of the Nation Address dinner once while I was at UCT. And all of that work and all of those relationships that I created in that time, they came back to support me when I decided that I'm ready to put out music and I'm ready to become an artist on my own.
So it's years of experience and plus talent that you were actually born with. I absolutely love it. But since it's May and we are still celebrating Africa Month, a time where we commemorate how far we've come as a continent, how would you then attribute your success to unsung heroes such as our ancestors who fought tirelessly to ensure that we live, or at least are on the road to live, a just and fair life with opportunities that they never had?
I mean, I really am my ancestors' wildest dream. I always tell my friends and people around me that I'm constantly guided. A friend of mine even said to me very recently, she said, there's singers who sing and then there's singers who sing with the spirit behind them. And she said, you can hear it in your voice when you sing that you're not singing alone and I'm dead, and you hear it in artists such as Thandiswa Mazwai, Mambo Simhlongo. And I think for me, I'm grateful for everyone who fought the good fight for us to be able to have the opportunities that we have today. I think as a continent, we have so much talent. We are blessed with so many resources, and if we can come together and really start to work as one in this continent, we can do so many amazing things. I was so excited to see the African artists on the recent Billboard cover because I was like, that makes me so proud, and it means it's possible. So I'm definitely proud to be African and celebrating this month with everyone.
It's a beautiful thing to be African because there are new opportunities every single day. Funny that you mentioned Sister Thandiswa Mazwai because she was on the show this morning, so it's so fitting that you mentioned her right now. Yes. Let's talk about new music, Langa. We've been waiting for years, okay? And you're working on a new body of work that's going to drop a little later on the year. But today you've dropped O Love Lost. I know that it has a very dense and very heartfelt meaning behind it. Can you please expand on that?
I mean, I wrote this song after my first love passed away in high school. I just wanted to remember the sweet memories, I wanted to remember like those first moments, the songs that we loved, and I really wanted to look at hard moments, but with sweetness. I wanted people to be able to remember things that have gone in a sweet way. Sometimes we're so riddled and heavy with grief that we forget to remember the sweet memories that we've created with one another. And I wanted through this song to remind people that when you're present in a moment and when you've been in it, when you look back at the past, you only look back at it with sweetness and with love. So I wanted to do that with the song. I didn't want to feel pain of the loss, but I really wanted to embrace it and accept it and remember the good things. So that's what the song's about.
Before we let you go, sir, you know for a fact I'm about to ask you to give us a young quarantine exclusive performance.
A little bit.
Can you, just a little bit. Can you please give us a little something, something?
Yeah. So it goes, I still remember when we first kissed. It was September. I never knew it like this. Do you still remember when we first kissed? It was September. I never knew it like this. Ooh, sweetest kiss, sweetest love. It could not be undone. I lost love. Yeah, people need to download it.
What? The way you casually said, yeah, people need to download it. We definitely are, because we want to listen to the rest of the entire song. Langa, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And best of luck, you know, with your brand new single and upcoming album. Continue to slay Ndase and keep us entertained.
Thank you. Dabulela, I'm so happy that you were able to speak to me. I'm really, really proud of you. We started in this industry together at the same time. We both went to UCT at the same time. I'm really, really proud of you. And thank you for doing this. And thank you to the Expresso family for always supporting me from Sunday Blues to Love Lost.
Love you so much, man. Langa Mavuso. That was Langa Mavuso. Make sure to download Love Lost right now on all streaming platforms. We do this again Monday morning. Make sure to have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.